Alrighty, hello, welcome back to another tutorial. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Last tutorial we got into some basics of classes and just a good basic introduction. We didn't get too deep into anything really. Just like what a class is, how to make a class, and just a basic method. But yeah, we're gonna jump into some more stuff. So we're just gonna start. So right here we're making an object of type my class. We're making another one called another object, my class. Um, so in order to access the actual um, stuff within in a class there, you do the dot method. So dot variable 2, which is going to give you this. Now, here's the question for you. Without actually running it, what do you think this is going to do? So we're going to change my object dot variable 2 to 3 when it's equal to 2. If we were to return, actually, let's just print it out here actually. Um, if we were to print variable 2 now, my object.variable2, do you think it's going to override the value of 2 and replace it with 3, or do you think it's going to keep it at 2? I'll let you take a guess, then I'll run it. All right. You guessed 3, then congrats. Yeah, so it's going to override the method, the global variable there within my class. And if you were to print variable 2, another object.variable2, what do you think it's going to print here? So remember, this is my object. Are we changing it to another object? Like, are we changing the variable 2 with another object? No, we're not. So since it's specific to my object, it won't affect another object. Think of it as two separate objects in memory whenever you create an object in this case. Yeah, so run this, it's going to be 2 because we didn't change that object's variable 2 in memory. We only did that to my objects. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, that's just a little bit of some introduction to variables in classes there. Um, but uh, but yeah, so now how would you like this? Basically, what we're doing here is we're updating the variable inside the class there. Um, and again, remember if you wanted to always just print out foo in this case, you could always do that by just saying print um, my object dot foo, the value of self, of course. I mean, sorry, just this. Sorry. What's that going to give you? That's going to get the object in memory. But how would you actually access this? How are you going to get it to print out this? Firstly, let's get into the basics. Okay, so what does the self mean? So the self parameter, we've seen it in like multiple tasks at this point, or multiple demonstrations in this point. It is the first argument that's passed into the method self. So like the first actual argument passed in is going to be equal to that self. I hope that makes sense. So it's nothing more than a convention. The name self has like no special meaning in Python. It's kind of just like advised to follow the convention. Um, it kind of makes the code more readable to programmers. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so if you were to, let's just say, get rid of this, firstly let's initialize. So when it comes to initializing something in Python, let's just pass in number and then name. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Actually, let's keep those two, but get rid of these. All right, so we have number and name. Get rid of this as well, might as well. All right, so what does this do? So we're going to initialize self dot number, or sorry, self dot number, yeah, is equal to number, and then self dot name is equal to name. So we're initializing of object type self dot number to number, or the variable passed in, or whatever. So in this case, let's just do my object dot foo with the value of 5, and then 2, and then let's just say def I don't know, def get value, self, we're going to return self dot number, sure. So we pass in my object type foo, run this, we're gonna get nothing, of course, because we're not actually calling this specific function. So pass in that, and then we do my object dot get value, run that. What are we gonna get? We're gonna get nothing again. We're also not printing anything out. Oh geez. But yeah, now we should get the number because we're returning self.number, which was initialized to the value passed in at 5, 5, and yeah. So I hope that makes sense there. So again, we're initializing it in this little block of code right here. So my object.foo, which is going to be the foo method inside, we're calling that. We're setting 5 and 2. 5 is going to be set equal to self.number, and then self.name. And then we're going to call self.number. What if we got rid of this? What if we got rid of this? And we just, it's already giving us an error. But what if we just return number? Got rid of this. Or, well, it's obviously going to give us an error. I hope you can see that. But yeah, it's going to give us an error. You might be like, can you change this to anything? Let's just say person. Just to prove my point that self has no special meaning in Python. And person.name. Run it, we're gonna get the exact same thing. So remember, self has no, it's no special word in Python really. It's just kind of best practice to use self. But yeah, that's basically classes and how to access specific things in classes or specific variables in classes. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. Or if you, I don't know, have any questions, drop them below. But if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, like the channel, I mean like the video. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.